Hey, it's your girl Barbie J here, and we are talking about Tyler Perry's comedy drama, Bruh, Season 2, Episode 15, Cold Feet, and Season 2, Episode 16, The Appointed Time. And before we get started, shout out to everybody in my comment section who've been holding my channel down. Shout out to all my subscribers out there. I appreciate you so much. And I need you to help me build my channel because I am trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by my birthday, June 1st. So help me out. June 1st is only about 2 or 3 months away. If that, I don't even think it's 3. Let's see, March, April, yeah, like 2.5 months away. So help a sister out. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel as of yet, please take a moment right now and hit that subscribe button, then hit the notification bell and select all, and it'll let you know every time Barbie J uploads a new video. Then I ask that you smash that like button, write a comment, and share my video. So that's subscribe, like, comment, and share. Now let's get started. This show it be cracking me up because Miss Alice, although she over the top, she be funny. She be funny sometimes. John is funny too. Sometimes, like I said, like Medea, they take stuff too long, the funniness, and don't stop it, but it happens. And I like the show because it's only a half an hour of watching time. You get your laugh in and then you go to bed, whatever. Anyway, so this episode 15, Cold Feet, Bill got busted telling John he's not ready to get married. He was standing in the sandwich shop and Regina walked in behind him just in time to hear that, hear him say that. So she reminded him that he broke up her freaking wedding saying she was the only one for him. So she gives him an ultimatum to meet her at the freaking, what is it, Justice of the Peace or something like that, at a certain time so they could get married. And if he doesn't be there, they're done. So when Regina walks out the sandwich shop, Miss Alice gets all into his face. No, she get up in his face and then get in his behind about what he did. And she give her dirty wisdom because she like fresh. She fresh. Then she kicked him out of her freaking shop and told him to get out because he too fine to be this damn dumb. She called him dumb. She was telling him he needs to make a choice, and she's like, what's the problem? Why he can't make a choice? But when she said he was too dumb, too fine to be that dumb, I fell out. She called him a big dick dumb nigga. I don't know where she make up these words, but that's what she called him. So then they have Pam, scene with Pam. She goes to the hospital to talk to Tom about Mike, but she learns from Greg that Tom went to Ohio to see his mom, who's very ill, so she decides to share with Greg that Mike has a coke problem, and he turned down her help. She was trying to get him some help, but she turned it down, so she started crying. So she asks him to stop by Mike's house for dinner that night so they could talk to him about his problem. Lydia, she comes into the sandwich shop. Now, y'all know what's going on with Lydia. And she asks John if these items were his. She pulls out of her pocketbook a watch, a can opener, and a remote control from his house. And he said, yeah, they mine. She said, I don't know what happened. I was in a rush and they just jumped into my purse. I was like, this woman is crazy. She crazy. That's why he want to get rid of her. So she wants to hang out with him later that night, but he says he's meeting up with the guys. And so she asks, could she come along saying she wanted the guys, but John is like, nah, it's not the same. No, you're not. It's boy thing, man thing, or something like that. But he no longer interested in being with her. And he's trying so hard to distance himself from her. And he's funny because his mother comes out there. She calls her the serial killer. She likes to eat cereal and she kills somebody. So she's a serial killer. And so, oh shoot, Lydia also, it seemed like she was a bit like pushy or bossy or something. She was smothering kind, you know. she kept saying to him, when you gonna call me? When you gonna call me? And I was like, he kept saying, when I get a break. She said, well, when is that? When's that? And he was like, okay, I can't do this. But anyway, Miss Alice laughs at her son because she said, you afraid of her and her crazy self. And she right about that. He certainly is. So then Bill shows up at Natalie's yoga studio to talk because she's a therapist and he feels he's not ready to marry Regina. I'm sitting here going, you gonna go to the girl that you were cheating on, almost like cheating on her with at one time, and because she a therapist to say he not ready to get married. And I'm like, after this fool done broke up her wedding, he's doing this. So he wants her advice, and she lets him know that he can't just be showing up at her freaking studio to talk. He needs to make an appointment, but he's like, this is an emergency and all this stuff. So bottom line, she told him he needs to make a decision and that he needs to do what's best for him. She wasn't going to tell him what to do, but she was like, poor Regina, she shouldn't have even put that ultimatum on him because she just don't think he's going to stick with it. That's how Natalie's feeling. Anyway, then it ended with, let's see, was it Pam? Pam walks into Mike's apartment and he informs her that he saw her car in the parking lot and asked did she tell Greg his business. And he was like pissed. He was so pissed. He called her biatch for not listening to him and about getting clean on his own. He wanted to, remember the last review I said he wanted to get clean on his own. So he was real nasty towards her and he told her to get the F out of his apartment or he would drag her ass out. And she was like, I'm not going nowhere. And he started going towards her and the episode went off just like that. He was going right towards her. I said, oh, come on. Don't put your hands on the girl. Please don't put your hands on the girl. But anyway, that was episode 15. Episode 16 is The Appointed Time. I gotta say something though in the middle of this. The guy who plays Greg, that actor, he looks so stiff. I don't know if he's new. I don't know if he's never acted before, but he keeps repeating his lines, and I'm sure that's not what the line is. Tyler must tell them to just fill it in with repeating it again or something like that because he just looks so stiff and uncomfortable, and it's like not natural for him to do what he's doing. And I noticed this way back, but I was trying to keep it to myself. But yeah, he need to take some acting lessons or something. I don't know. Anyhow, so this episode started with Pam and Mike. They get into that shoving match after he becomes like very belligerent with her. And after she wouldn't leave. And she found his Coke and was going to flush it. And he threw her on the bed and she started crying because they had been pushing and shoving each other and stuff. And she was built kind of like bullying him. She a little bit taller than him, but you saw how he punched out John. So I'm sure he could like hurt her, but he didn't. And then they showed Darla calling Greg and inviting him to an art exhibit. But he said he's unable to attend because he's going to, Mike's house. He kept saying a friend's house to speak with him regarding his substance use. And then Bill calls Greg after he hangs up with Darla to inform him as well about Regina's ultimatum. He's going to everybody about this ultimatum. He went to John, he went to Greg, he went to Natalie, So Greg gives him some hard truths and good advice about getting married. He said it's a good thing and you try it out. If you can't handle it, doesn't work, then there's always the option of divorce. But, he said he was sorry his marriage didn't work. He wanted it to, but it didn't. But anyway, he never said anything negative about marriage. And that's what I was appreciative to hear, that he didn't say anything negative. But then he told him they need to meet at Mike's house around 8 p.m. And, remember now, Bill's going to get married at like 3:30. So he got to meet at around 8. And Greg said, hopefully you're through with your honeymoon at that time. I was like, oh my God. So Greg, then he went to see John at the sandwich shop and was greeted by Miss Alice, who absolutely is crazy. That woman is crazy. She was being fresh as always. So he finally gets a chance to speak with John and tells him that we need to meet at 8 p.m. at Mike's house. So John is like, what's going on? He said, I'll let him tell you. He said, well, nigga, you could have just called me and said this. Why you come all the way down here to say that? He said, well, I wanted to support a black-owned business. I need to pick up some sandwiches for my colleagues. And then John started teasing him the way he said his colleagues. He said, you and what is it, Tom, sound so white. He said about, I guess, I don't know what it is. But he always teasing them when they say certain things. So John said he was going to let his mama, get the sandwiches for Greg. And Greg begged him. He was like, please, please just do it yourself. If you let your mama do it, she's going to be flirting with me the whole time. Please help. Don't do that. Don't do that. And John was like, nah, what? What's wrong? That's what it comes with. It's a sandwich and a flirt. So a flirt comes with a sandwich. But then Pam calls on Greg's phone, and John is like, why is Pam calling you? And he tells John they need to leave right now. He's like, we don't have time. Because she told him what was going on with Mike in the bathroom with the coat. So he kept saying, what's going on with Mike? And he said, I'll tell you in the car. So John tells Miss Alice to finish the sandwiches. And she was like, well, where the hell you going? He's like, Ma, I'll be right back. He said, then who gonna help me with this lunch rush? He's like, Ma, ain't nobody in here. I was laughing because that sandwich shop is always empty. I don't even know how they pay their rent or mortgage or whatever. That sandwich shop is always empty. And I'm sitting there, maybe this was during COVID when Tyler was not having a lot of people on the sets. You know how the empty bank was on Sisters, So, and the empty airport on Sisters. Anyway, they rush out the door, and then they show Pam sitting on the floor outside of Mike's bathroom while he's inside snorting coke. That fool. He just like, he really played that part good because he was obnoxious, really. And then she shares with him a story about her dad and how he had a drug problem, and when she was 9 years old, and her father OD'd, and she found him on a couch with a needle in his arm. I said, oh my God, imagine that, a child seeing that. And Mike said, boo-hoo, I don't give a F about your dead daddy and his problems. I was like, damn, he on some stuff. He's snorting something, acting like that. And he started saying negative things to her. I never liked you. I never wanted you. I never this and all that. She's like, you can say all the mean things you want. I'm not leaving. I'm staying here right by this door until you come out. And he's like, I hope you don't have to pee because you're not getting in. And he was just acting ignorant. So she's still begging him to open the door, and he won't. And then in the meantime, John and Greg are in the car on their way to Mike's, and they're discussing, John tells him that, Mike used to do it, I think, like socially or something, but he wasn't really heavy into drugs that he knew of. And Greg's like, you should have told me this. Why you didn't tell me? He's like, dude, he did it a couple of times. Have you ever done drugs? And he's like, yeah, I did it one time. Oh, man, what you mean you did it one time? You should have never done that. And then he admits he did it one time. I'm like, oh, he took a Molly. He's like, yo, you yelling at me and you did it yourself. It's like, really? But dude, you can't be doing that. That's a drug problem. He said, dude, I did it one time. Like I said, that guy Greg who plays the actor, he's not really a good actor. I'm sorry. But anyway, they still talking, and John just like, you know what? He said, Greg, you be sounding like a little white dude. Oh, you should have told me. Do. He said, you and Tom, I don't know. What is it with y'all? He said, what happened at med school? They must have taken the niggerism out of y'all. I said, oh, damn. He said, y'all sound so white. But then they finally arrive at Mike's place, and he still won't open the door. And Greg gets some kind of butter knife or something, all that, and he tries to jimmy the door open when Mike wouldn't let him in. And Mike steps near the door, and he's still saying he don't need no help. He could do it all himself. And John is like, nigga, how you gonna sit here? You sitting there looking like Santa Claus. No, did he say Frosty the Snowman or something like that? He said, you got powder all on your nose. He said, you sit there looking like Frosty the Snowman, nigga. I was dying. Got white all on your powder. Look like you been eating powdered donuts all day and stuff. So he said, what y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna do a freaking intervention? He said, yeah, that's what we gonna do. We gonna do an intervention. So he said, look, we here because we care about you. She told us because she care about you and she love you. You shouldn't be getting mad at her. And he's like, fine, or something like that. So he starts, they walk over to the couch. And it ended with Bill showing up to the Justice of the Peace with a suit jacket on. And Regina was sitting there and they're about to get married. I guess that'll be next episode. So that's how it ended. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this show, these 2 episodes. You know, I thought they were pretty good. You know, it's bruh. It's Tyler Perry. Y'all know how it goes. If I missed anything, let me know. If you want to share anything else, let me know. And don't forget, if you have not as of yet, subscribe to my channel. Please take a moment right now. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. And it'll let you know every time Barbie J uploads a new video or any content. This your girl, Barbie J, saying peace.